Tensions in the Taiwan Strait are rising. China's leader, Xi Jinping, has said that his country's reunification with the island of Taiwan is inevitable. But the Chinese Communist Party's obsession with the island is about more than just territory, as its history shows. When Europeans first came across the island in the 1500s, legend has it that Portuguese sailors yelled out Ilha Formosa, or Beautiful Island. Although the Portuguese never settled on the island, the Dutch and the Spanish who eventually colonized it adopted the name Formosa. Back then, the isle was home not to ethnically Chinese people, but to a mostly Malayo-Polynesian population that lived in tribes known for hunting humans for their heads. The Dutch expelled other Western settlers in the early 1600s. They were the first to encourage mass migration from China to help build up their colonial workforce. Dutch colonization of the island was harsh and lasted only a few decades. In 1644, the Manchu-led Qing dynasty overthrew the Ming dynasty on the mainland. Loyalists of the deposed regime fled to Formosa. With help from locals, a Ming loyalist named郑Gong, who is better known outside China as Koxinga, drove the Dutch out in 1662 and established the kingdom of Tungning in southern Taiwan. Koxinga hoped to use Taiwan as a base until he could recover the empire, but his dream was never realized. After his death, the Qing dynasty eventually recaptured the island and expanded China's territory as far as Outer Mongolia, Tibet, and Xinjiang. In 1895, after a humiliating defeat in the First Sino-Japanese War, the Qing ceded Taiwan to Japan. The Taiwanese fought for independence, but Japan eventually took control of the island, making Taiwan Japan's first colony. Back on the mainland, the loss of territory was a blow to the Qing dynasty, which was facing a number of rebellions. In 1911, the Chinese Revolution brought down the decaying dynasty, ending China's imperial history and creating the Republic of China. The central government, now under the nationalist Kuomintang party, exercised weak control over the mainland, which was fragmented into rival fiefs ruled by warlords. In 1921, the Chinese Communist Party was established. Not long after, the Kuomintang accepted help from the Chinese Communist Party and the Soviet Union to defeat the warlords and unify the country. This campaign was dubbed the Northern Expedition. The alliance between the nationalists and the communists was fraught from the start, with the two sides eventually going to war in 1927, fighting until a brief alliance against the Japanese during the Second World War. After Japan's defeat in 1945, Taiwan was ceded to China, then ruled by the Kuomintang. During this time, the Chinese Communist Party had made stunning gains across the mainland. On October 1, 1949, Mao Zedong declared the creation of the People's Republic of China, and the Kuomintang retreated to Taiwan.
Under the rule of Generalissimo Chiang Kai-shek, it is now the home of the Chinese government in exile.
Back in Taiwan, much like the Ming loyalists of the 17th century, the Kuomintang originally plotted a return to the mainland. But after the Kuomintang's dictatorship struggled to quash pro-democracy opposition, the government ultimately pursued domestic reforms while giving up its territorial ambitions. And economic prosperity followed. Today, Taiwan dominates the global market for advanced semiconductors. Its stock market is the 10th largest in the world by market capitalization, ahead of South Korea's and Australia's. The island's flourishing democracy is a stark contrast to modern China's autocracy. For Xi Jinping, reunification would finish the job that Mao started. But the issue of Taiwan is more than just a territorial dispute. The island has become a free and open society, proof that Chinese culture is compatible with liberal democracy. For President Xi and the Chinese Communist Party, that poses an unacceptable risk.